Hello friends. This is Fiction Quest. How are you all? So in this video, we will see, what if Naruto fall in love with Nami and got harem? But before we start, if you want more amazing stuff like this, then be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also if possible share this video with your friends. Now without wasting any more time, let's begin the story. The village of Konoha, home to some of the greatest ninja in the history of the Element Nations, from the first Hokage Hashirama Senju to Jiraiya the Toad Sage. Every great ninja since the creation of Konoha has at one point attended its prestigious shinobi academy, where children are prepared to go out into the world to help defend their home. All but one small blonde boy named Naruto Uzumaki, who was sitting outside on a swing with a sad frown adorning his face. "Stupid sensei, all I did was ask a question. Why did he send me out?" mumbled Naruto as he swayed on the swing. "Tch, whatever, I'll go see Gigi, he do something." Getting up from the swing, Naruto ran towards the Hokage tower. Arriving quickly since the building was next door, Naruto entered and walked towards the Hokage's office, only to see the nice secretary standing in front of the door. "Hey Ayumi-chan, can I see Gigi?" asked Naruto, making the women jump slightly in surprise. "Oh Naruto-kun, you scared me, and shouldn't you at the academy right now?" asked Ayumi with a stern glare. Sweating slightly under the women's glare, Naruto gulps nervously. Well, that's kinda what I wanted to see Gigi for," he replied nervously whilst rubbing the back of his neck. "Well, you're in luck, Naruto-kun. I was just about to let him know his lunch has started," she said with an overly sweet smile, making Naruto sweat drop, since the Hokage wasn't meant to take orders from anyone, let alone a 21-year-old civilian. Forgetting about it for now, he and Ayumi entered the office, only for him to sweat drop further, since even with his untrained eyes he could see the Hokage quick throw a orange book into a drawer and start to sign papers, and then look over to them with innocent eyes and a bead of sweat rolling down his face. "Oh Ayumi-chan, time for lunch already. Time sure does fly when you're working, said the Sandaime Hokage. "I'm so glad you understand now, Hokage-sama, but just to be sure, I think I'll be taking all of those books in your top drawer," said Ayumi, daring him to disagree, and smiled when she saw him slump in his chair defeated. "Also, you have a guest, Hokage-sama," she said, pointing to Naruto, who was now sitting on the sofa in the corner of the room, who gave the Hokage a peace sign. "Yo Gigi." "Oh hello Naruto-kun," he said with a smile. "Wait, Naruto. You're meant to be at the academy," yelled the old Hokage. "How could you skip in on your first day?" "Wait, Gigi, it wasn't my fault, I was there honest, but when the sensei did the registry he ignored me, and when I asked him why, he told me to get out and threatened to throw kunai at me," yelled Naruto, making the Hokage, Ayumi and the hidden Anbu narrow their eyes. "Are you sure about this, Naruto-kun? I want you to be honest with me," said Hiruzen. "Yeah, I even heard a kunai hit the door frame when I left the room," said Naruto, making the old Hokage's eyes narrow further. "Cat, go and get me the teacher for the first years and investigate Naruto-kun's story," ordered the Hokage, to who Naruto didn't know, but he felt a slight breeze after his Gigi spoke. "Now Naruto-kun, I hope that this won't affect your choice of going to the academy," said Hiruzen with a smile, making Naruto frown. "I'm not sure, Gigi, what if the other senseis are the same?" asked Naruto, making Hiruzen's heart tighten. "I promise this won't happen again, Naruto-kun," said Hiruzen, whose heart felt heavy at having to lie to his surrogate grandson. "But how can you promise that, Gigi? You can't change how people feel by ordering them," said Naruto, surprising Ayumi and the Hokage at how wise his words were. Sigh, "You're correct, Naruto-kun, I can't order people to change their feelings," Hiruzen admitted. "But you should give people a chance, they may just surprise you." Suddenly, in a swirl of leaves, a purple-haired woman wearing a cat mask appeared along with the teacher that threatened Naruto. "As ordered, Hokage-sama, I have brought the teacher Daichi and have investigated the doorframe. There was a fresh hole in the wall that was made by a kunai," said Cat, who gave a quick bow and disappeared into the shadows once again. "Daichi, do you know why I have called you here?" asked the Hokage with power and authority in his voice, surprising Naruto since he had never heard him speak like that. "No, Hokage-sama," said Daichi, quite scared at the moment, since the normally friendly Hokage was gone and in his place was the legendary god of shinobi. "You have been accused of threatening a 9-year-old child with kunai and refusing to let them in their class. What do you have to say for yourself?" asked the Hokage with a narrowed eyes. "That the child lies, I would never do such a thing," said Daichi, quickly catching his slip-up, but was for naught since everyone heard it. "So you are calling Naruto-kun a liar?" Why should I believe you over him? I have been a loyal shinobi to this village for years. He is just a child, said Daichi, nearly spitting the word child out. Well then, if there is no other way to resolve this, then I shall get a Yamanaka to probe your mind, unless you have something to hide? Asked the Hokage to the now paler Daichi. Knowing he was caught, the teacher did the only thing his mind you think of. He pulled out a kunai and ran at Naruto with it. Dai Kyuubi scum. Now Naruto was in a room with the Hokage and 4 top-ranking Anbu, so it was no surprise when the cat-masked Anbu was behind Daichi with a sword coming out his chest, but unfortunately with the last of his strength Daichi the kunai embedding it into Naruto's arm, making the boy pass out from the pain and trauma. Naruto. Quick dog, take him to the hospital and make sure he is treated and guard him, ordered the Hokage, quickly picking up the boy dog Sunshine to the hospital. Cat, take that filth away, and Tiger, get someone to clean up this mess, ordered the Hokage, who was trying to stop his secretary from tearing the corpse a new one. When the corpse was finally gone and the surprisingly strong Ayumi was calmed down, Hiruzen Sunshine to the hospital. Hospital arriving quickly, Hiruzen was shown to Naruto's room by Naruto's personal doctor. How bad is it? Asked Hiruzen. It's nothing his tenant and his own healing factor can't take care of, but he should avoid using that arm for the next 24 hours just to be safe, answered the doctor, making the old Hokage sigh in relief. But he has yet to wake up. I'm afraid he might have some trauma after this event. Hokage-sama, it's not every day a teacher tries to kill a 9-year-old boy, so please keep that in mind, said the doctor. I will, and thank you, doctor, said Hiruzen, who opened the door to see Naruto lying in the hospital bed. Dog, you are free to leave. I shall watch over Naruto, ordered Hiruzen. Walking out from the shadows of the door, the silver-haired Anbu bowed. I wish to stay and watch him, Hokage-sama. It's my fault he is like this, said Dog in a sad tone. You're not to blame for this, Kakashi. This is my fault. I didn't think that the hatred for the fox would run so deep in people's hearts that one would attack an innocent boy, said Hiruzen. But what's done is done. All I can do now is try and redeem myself, and I'll start as soon as Naruto is up and well. Taking a seat near the bed, Hiruzen sits and waits for Naruto to awaken. Naruto's Mindscape. Man, my head hurts more than my stomach did after I ate 31 bowls of ramen in one sitting, complained Naruto as he held his head in pain. Standing to his feet, he noticed he was surrounded by water. What the hell? Why am I in a sewer? I should be in Gigi's office, said Naruto, who looked around for a way out only to see a set of pipes all heading in one direction. Might as well see if they lead me somewhere. After following the pipes for what felt like hours, the pipes started to split off in different directions. Frowning, Naruto looks for one that had a sign or an arrow on it. Seeing nothing like that, Naruto decides to follow the most unique one out of all the pipes, the glowing red one. Might lead me to a manhole or something, said Naruto as he began to follow the red pipe. I'm so sick of walking. Whoever throw me down here better prepare for a major beating, grumbled Naruto as he continued to walk. Suddenly Naruto started to feel a slight breeze coming from in front of him. Yada, I found a way out, yelled Naruto as he sprinted towards the exit, only to see a large cage. What kind of sewer is this? Why would a big-ass cage be down here? Asked Naruto aloud. So my moronic jailer finally comes to pay me a visit, does he? Said a loud, deep voice from the shadows of the cage. What? Said Naruto, confused and slightly scared. You stupider than your memories make you out to be, said the booming voice, pissing Naruto off. Oi, don't call me stupid, you dumb voice. I'm not a voice, you moron. I'm the great Kyuubi no Yoko, the most powerful demon on this earth, roared the Kyuubi, stepping out of the shadows, showing Naruto its huge body and 9 swishing tails. Holy crap. What the hell is the Kyuubi doing in a sewer? Asked Naruto, making the Kyuubi sweat drop. This isn't a sewer, you dipshit. It's your mindscape, yelled the beast. What? Why is my mind a sewer? No scratch that. Why the hell are you in my mind? Yelled Naruto. Finally a sensible question. I was sealed within you on the day of your birth by that bastard Hokage of yours. Wait, Gigi sealed you inside me? Asked Naruto, feeling hurt and betrayed. No, not that old fool, his replacement, the Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze, yelled the Kyuubi. But the books said he killed you, said Naruto. You can't kill something made of chakra. The fool simple sealed me inside you, killing himself in the process. Good riddance if you ask me. Yeah, well, no one asked you. He was the greatest Hokage. Oh, was he? No? Well, I will admit he was quite a powerful nothing compared to that bastard Hashirama, but powerful, said the Kyuubi with a small smirk. He beat you, didn't he? Said Naruto with a giant smile. Peeved, all he did was buy Konoha a few years. All I have to do is wait for you to die and I'm free. If Hashirama or even that bastard Madara was there, I would never even go near Konoha. Think what you want, but the Yondaime was the greatest Hokage Datbeo. Good Hokage, sure, but the won't be winning any Father of the Year awards anytime soon, laughed the fox, making Naruto go wide-eyed. The Yondaime had a son. Who is it? You and everyone in your village are a bunch of morons. Look at yourself in the water, then tell me, what did Minato look like? Looking at himself in the water. Well, he had bright blonde hair like mine, blue eyes like mine, and the same skin tone as well, along with the same facial structure. Holy shit, I'm his son. Ding ding ding, we have a winner. Now that you know that, can you still say he was a good man? Asked the Kyuubi. He sealed you inside me, but he saved the village and caused me to be miserable and hated. I'm so confused, I feel like punching him and hugging him at the same time, yelled Naruto, annoying the Kyuubi. Oi, if you gonna talk to yourself, go do it outside your mind. I would, you dumb fox, but I don't know how to get out of here, yelled Naruto, still trying to figure things out. Just think about waking up and you'll leave, so hurry up, you're ruining my nap. Following the fox's advice, Naruto thinks about waking up and see nothing but darkness. Opening his eyes, he sees the pure white ceiling of a hospital. Oh yeah, I forgot about that bastard attacking me, mumbled Naruto, who sat up and looked around the room to see his Gigi sitting in a chair next to him. Glad to see you're awake, Naruto-kun. How do you feel? Asked Hiruzen. Hurt, confused, betrayed. The list goes on, really, said Naruto, making the Hokage wince. Why do you feel this way, Naruto-kun? Why do you think? I just found out I have the Kyuubi I sealed inside me, and by my own father. And all to save people. Who would rather see me dead than happy, screamed Naruto, shocking the old Hokage. Naruto, please calm down, pleaded Hiruzen, making Naruto look at him with so much betrayal and hurt in his eyes that he could barely stand to look. When you were born, the Kyuubi attacked the village. Having no other choice, Minato sealed it within you, his newborn son, at the cost of his own life. The only thing he asked was for you to be treated like a hero, but things don't go as planned and the people saw you as the Kyuubi in human form and demanded your death. I couldn't do much because of the council, so I did all I could. I made a law that no one can talk about the Kyuubi to the younger generation in order for you to have a normal life, said Hiruzen, hoping that Naruto would understand his reasons. I understand perfectly, Hokage-sama. My father was an idealist and held too much faith in his people, and you lacked the spine to do what was right, said Naruto in a cold voice, sending chills down the old Hokage's spine. You have every right to feel that way, Naruto, but I hope one day you will forgive this old fool, said Hiruzen. That will depend on you, was all Naruto said, making Hiruzen's hopes of forgiveness rise slightly. And I will endeavor to do so, Naruto-kun, but for now let's talk about your arm and the academy. Your arm is fine, but you should try to avoid using it for a few hours, and the academy will be expecting you to return after 4 days of recuperating to meet your new sensei. No, whispered Naruto. I'm sorry, what was that, Naruto? Asked Hiruzen. I said no, I won't go back there just to be attacked again, said Naruto with a frown. Please, Naruto, be reasonable, no other teacher will attack you. You have my word, promised Hiruzen. Apparently this was the wrong thing to say, since Naruto glared right back. And I've seen today how much your word is worth, Hokage-sama, spat Naruto, making the old man winced at the truth of the boy's words. Please reconsider, Naruto, you won't be able to become a shinobi without going to the academy, said Hiruzen, trying to use Naruto's dream to his advantage. Okay, I won't be a ninja then, and I will leave this village. I'm sure other places will welcome someone with the Kyuubi sealed inside them, said Naruto, making Hiruzen pale, since legally the boy was right. Now Naruto-kun, don't be so hasty with your words. The world is a dangerous place with enemies around every corner. At least I will know where my enemies are, unlike here where they lie in plain sight, said Naruto, making Hiruzen wince once again at the truth in the boy's words. Very well, Naruto, if you won't go to the academy and I don't want you to leave your parents' village, then we shall compromise. Does that sound fair? Agreed. I want somewhere secluded with a full-stocked library from beginners to advanced along in different subjects, food brought to me, and to be left alone until I am ready to become a shinobi. These are my terms, said Naruto, surprising Hiruzen with his terms. He was expecting a lifetime supply of ramen. I can agree to these Naruto-kun, but why do you want food to be brought to you? Wouldn't it be better so socialize with the people? TCH and give them the chance to poison me again? I think not. When can you prepare my home? Asked Naruto, ignoring Hiruzen's shocked look. I'll have them prepared immediately, Naruto-kun. For now, go home and rest and start packing your things. Agreeing with the old Hokage, Naruto gets out of the hospital bed and jumps out of the nearby window and slides down the guttering and begins the walk to his apartment, ignoring the glares he got from most of the populace, finally arriving at his rundown apartment. More graffiti and a newly broken window. Home sweet home. Unlocking the door and ignoring the mess, Naruto goes to his room and throws himself on his bed and quickly falls asleep. Hokage office. As Hiruzen sat behind his desk trying to find a place that Naruto described, be looked over to the portraits of his predecessors. Hashirama-sensei, what would you have done in my place? Asked Hiruzen as he stared at the painting. Then like a lightning bolt it hit him, pulling out a map of Konoha's clan compounds. He looked for the one he wanted and smiled. This one is perfect. Naruto-kun will be in for quite a shock. The next day, after packing all of his stuff into a small bag, Naruto waited to be picked up and shown where he would be living from now on. Waiting a couple of minutes, there was a knock at the door. Quickly opening it, Naruto saw the old Hokage standing there with a smile. Good morning, Naruto-kun, I hope you're all ready to go. Greeted Hiruzen with a smile. Of course. Please lead the way, Hokage-sama, said Naruto, making Hiruzen's smile drop slightly at the respectful suffix. Of course, Naruto-kun, I think you'll be in for quite a shock, said Hiruzen with a mischievous glint in his eyes. As the two walked the streets, Naruto noticed that there were no more glares from anyone. He could still see the hate in their eyes, but he could tell they were trying to hide it. Must because the old man's with me, thought Naruto, who chose to ignore them like he normally did. Continuing their walk, Naruto saw that they were getting closer to the outskirts of the village that were surrounded by forest. Going further and further into the forest, Naruto saw a large building designed in a very traditional manner. And here we are, Naruto-kun, this house hasn't been lived in for over 40 years, so you won't have to worry about anyone bothering you. It's very secluded. The only people near here are the Nara clan, but they are too lazy to go out this far, and it also has the very large library that you requested, said Hiruzen, mentally giving himself a pat on the back for his idea. Wow, it's great, old man, but who used to live here? Asked Naruto in shock, since this place was huge and didn't understand why anyone would abandon it. This house has quite a history. It was one of the first houses built in Konoha and built by my sensei, the first Hokage, no less. It also used to be a clan compound for the strongest clan in the world, the Senju clan, said Hiruzen, who burst out laughing when he saw Naruto's jaw touching the floor. Letting Naruto compose himself, Hiruzen showed Naruto to the compound gates. Now Naruto-kun, on this gate is a seal that only allows people of Senju blood inside, but fortunately for Yumito Uzumaki, who was the first wife, created it to allow a certain line of the Uzumaki inside, so please put some blood on the seal and push some chakra into it. Following the old man's orders, Naruto bit his thumb and smeared the blood across the seal and pushed a large amount of chakra into it, and like the old man said, the gates swung open, letting him inside. Well done, Naruto, you're the first to be inside these grounds in over 40 years, said Hiruzen. I'm confused, does this mean I'm related to the first Hokage? Asked Naruto. No, Naruto-kun, Mito Uzumaki created the seal, and before she died she allowed a young Uzumaki and her family access to this place, and that young Uzumaki was your mother, Naruto-kun, said Hiruzen with a smile as he remembered feisty red head. Mother, mumbled Naruto. Can you tell me about her? Asked Naruto, since he only knew about his father. It would be my pleasure, Naruto-kun, but later. For now, I'll show you around the compound. Is still remember most of the layout from why my sensei brought me here, said Hiruzen, getting a nod of agreement from Naruto, showing Naruto around the compound too longer than expected, since Hiruzen nearly had to drag Naruto out of the library and armory. Hiruzen finished the tour in the main living room. Now Naruto-kun, I hope you're happy with the accommodations, but please do be careful when looking around. Some things in this house are very old, warned Hiruzen, since he knew something in this house were from the warning state period, maybe even older. I'll be careful, old man, but can you tell me about my mother now? Asked Naruto, making the old Hokage smile. Of course, Naruto-kun. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki, a beautiful woman with long red hair, but she had a temper on her and was very tomboyish in her youth. She was known as the red hot-blooded habanero because she would beat anyone who tried to bully her over her hair. Said Hiruzen with a reminiscing smile but was replaced by a stern look. Now Naruto, what I'm about to tell you is top secret, you have to swear never to reveal this. Getting a nod he went on. Your mother was the second container of the Kyuubi. What? The second WHO was the first, yelled a shocked Naruto. The first was Mito Uzumaki, who sealed the beast inside her after Madara Uchiha summoned it to battle Hashirama at the Valley of the End, answered Hiruzen. Now I trust you can keep this a secret? Of course, old man, but how did the Kyuubi escape from my mother's seal? Asked the blonde. I don't know the full details, but according to reports Minato was seen battling a masked man when the Kyuubi escaped. I believe he was the who unsealed it, answered the old Hokage. But enough of that today. I have to leave now. Naruto-kun, food will be delivered once a month by a trusted Enbu who will leave it outside the gates, and please do be careful. With that said, Hiruzen showed himself out, leaving Naruto alone in his new home. Well, best go look at the library and come up with a training plan. Getting up from his seat, Naruto makes his way to the large library and starts to look through the beginner's section for things to start on, but after an hour of searching and finding nothing of interest, Naruto starts to get annoyed. Beginner's section, my ass, all this is a glorified history section. Sick of finding nothing, Naruto goes to the smaller bookcase across from him. What's this stuff? They look like journals. Warning states, by Batsuma Senju, the second shinobi, war by Tobarama Senju. Man, these books are pretty old. Looking through more of the books, Naruto finds one that piques his interest, The Surgeon of Death, by Trafalgar D. Waterlaw. Cool name, said Naruto as he took the book and began to read. If you are reading this, then Straw Hat kept his promise and hide away this journal. My name is Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, also known as the Surgeon of Death. I've written this book in hopes that one day someone will carry on my legacy, so reader, I pass on my knowledge to you. And so Naruto sat there for the next 4 hours reading Law's journal about his life, from when he lost his family to white lead poisoning to when he and the Straw Hats battled Doflamingo and saved Dressrosa. Wow, Law and that Luffy guy were badasses, and their powers were awesome, especially that Ope no Mi fruit, said Naruto, who finally put the book down. Law's life was much harsher than any I can imagine, said Naruto with new fire burning in his eyes. If he can become so powerful even after going through all that, then I have no excuse. With renewed vigor, Naruto went straight to the advanced section of the library and started to pull out scrolls from jutsu to kenjutsu. Okay, let's see what we have. Looking through the scrolls, Naruto was starting to lose his patience again. All of these are elemental jutsu. I don't know my element, so this is pointless. Okay. Calm down, I have another look, said Naruto, trying to be calm like Law would. After another search, Naruto found 4 jutsu that didn't need element chakra to use. Okay, I've got shadow clones, multiple shadow clones, shuriken shadow clones, and explosive clones, said Naruto. I better learn the shadow clone first. After reading the scroll about the jutsu, Naruto went wide-eyed. So everything the clones learn I do, that's so cool. It would be perfect for training and searching the library. Putting the scrolls down, Naruto began to practice the jutsu, and after an hour on not-stop practice, Naruto managed to create 10 shadow clones. Yada, I did it. Now for the rest. So for the next week, Naruto began to practice those jutsu and anything else his clones found in the library. 1 week later, after a week of nothing but training and sleeping, Naruto had all but mastered those 4 jutsu thanks to the shadow clone's ability. After finishing those jutsu, Naruto learned that with better chakra control he could make more clones, so after scouring the library for the ways to improve his chakra control, he found a book all about it by someone called Tsunade Senju, a medic nin, something that interested Naruto since Law was also a doctor. Speaking of Law, Naruto found Law's medical books sealed inside his journal along with his sword style, something Naruto nearly fangirled over. So now we find Naruto swinging a long metal pole following the stances shown in the book, whilst his clones read all the medical books and practiced more chakra exercise. Man, Law must have been incredibly strong to swing a sword of this size around, said Naruto, who continued to swing the pole around following the stances, until one of his clones randomly dispelled itself, sending the memories to the original, who dropped his training pole in surprise. No way! Yelled Naruto as he ran inside straight into the library. Going to where to clone dispelled, Naruto found Law's journal and a small wooden box. Opening the box, Naruto went wide-eyed. Inside was a small heart-shaped fruit with swirls covering it. Looking at the fruit like he just found the Holy Grail, Naruto saw a small piece of paper sticking to the side of the box. If you found this fruit, then Straw Hat and his crew kept their promise and hide this fruit away along with my journal. This is the Ope no Emi. Eat this and you will gain my powers, but be warned, you will never be able to swim again. Good luck, my legacy. Well, the choice is obvious, isn't it? It had been 7 years since Naruto went into his self-imposed exile inside the Senju manor. During those years Naruto had grown in strength and knowledge. He had now mastered all of Law's techniques thanks to his notes and was starting to create his own techniques to use with the Ope no Emi. But that wasn't to say he ignored his shinobi training in the slightest. After finding out his element affinities, which happened to be wind, water and lightning, he learned and mastered many jutsu for each element. Along with this, he had mastered all of the medical jutsu that he found in the compound, so he didn't have to rely on his devil fruit powers to heal people. Right now we find Naruto in the garden of his manor swinging his Kikoku sword, trying to perfect his newest technique. Alright, pant I pant, think I nearly pant, have it. Holding his sword with one hand, Naruto runs his other over the blade, coating it in a small blue bubble. Alright, one more try, scalpel slash, yelled Naruto as he hit the tree, cutting through it with ease. Good, now I should be able to cut anything with my sword, said Naruto with a small smirk on his face. Satisfied with his training for today, Naruto goes inside his home to take a quick shower. After a refreshing shower, Naruto changes into his everyday outfit, which was a pair of black combat boots and trousers and a long-sleeved dark blue coat with a black Uzumaki swirl on the back. Quickly looking in the mirror, Naruto smiled at how his training had helped him progress. His torso was lean and muscular and his arms and legs were strong. His once tan complexion had lightened a bit from being indoors too often, and his spiky blonde hair had grown out with bangs going to his chin. But the most strikingly different things were that his whisker marks were no longer there since he removed them using his devil fruit powers, and his personal favorite was his tattoos. After reading so much about them, he wanted to get some of his own. He, like Law, had death on both sets of fingers and had 2 crosses tattooed onto his hands, and in memory of the Heart Pirates and his mentor, he had a tribal-style heart on his chest. It's hard to believe it's been 7 years since the old man gave me this place, said Naruto as he grabbed his sword and began to walk towards the door, but not before looking at one of his proudest achievements, his doctorate that he got when he was 12. That was a fun day, said Naruto as he thought back to the day he asked to become a doctor. 4 years ago, after years of Naruto studying Law's medical journal along with more modern medical books, he felt that he was ready to put his talent and knowledge to the test. So after transforming himself to look like his 9-year-old self with the Henge Jutsu, Naruto shunshined to the Hokage office to have a talk with the old Hokage. As soon as he arrived, Naruto found the Hokage giggling like a schoolgirl as he read from an orange book, sweat dropping at the sight. Naruto coughs, trying to gain his attention. If Naruto was someone else, then watching the most powerful man in the village flail around in a panic trying to hide a book would have been hilarious, but to laugh at an old man wasn't why Naruto was here, so he decided to intervene. Old man, if you would stop having a mini heart attack and calm down, this conversation will go quicker, said Naruto in a monotone voice. Naruto watched as the old man tried to compose himself as much as he could after such a spectacle, which wasn't much. Calming down, Hiruzen finally looked at his visitor and nearly choked on air. Standing there was Naruto, looking exactly the same as he did 3 years ago. Naruto, how have you been, my boy? And why are you hiding behind a henge? Asked the old Hokage with a curious look. I am well, old man, and I wish to hide my appearance until I am ready to join the shinobi ranks, answered the blonde with a blank look, unnerving Hiruzen quite a bit since he used to seeing a goofy grin on the boy's face. Very well, Naruto-kun, but I have to ask why you are here. I thought you wouldn't leave the compound until you were 16. I have a request to make, Hokage-sama, said Naruto in a professional tone, surprising Hiruzen once again. Oh, and what would this request be, Naruto-kun? Said a curious Hiruzen. I wish to take a test to become a doctor, said Naruto. For what seemed like the 100th time in his life, Naruto had once again surprised Hiruzen, as that was the last thing he thought that Naruto would ask for. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, but becoming a doctor requires years of training and vast amounts of knowledge. Perhaps it's best you wait until you join the shinobi ranks and we can see about getting you a few lessons every month or so, offered Hiruzen with a smile that soon faded when he saw the blank stare of Naruto. That won't be necessary, Hokage-sama. I already have extensive knowledge of medicine and have already mastered several medical techniques and have improved some of them as well. All I wish is to prove my skill and knowledge in the medical arts, said Naruto, who smirked when he saw the dumbfounded face of the Hokage. After a quick mental reboot, Hiruzen looked at Naruto in shock. Very well Naruto, I shall accompany you to the hospital and see if we can get you into an exam, said Hiruzen, getting a nod from the blonde. The two shunshin to the hospital. Konoha Hospital. Arriving at the entrance, the two walked inside only to see multiple doctors running around frantically trying to help their patients. He saw at least 4 of his shinobi lying on stretchers, some still bleeding. Walking over to the secretary who looked like she was ready to break down any minute. What has happened here? Asked Hiruzen, making the secretary look up from her folders, about to scream her head off. She sees the Hokage standing there along with a small blonde boy. Oh Hokage-sama, I'm sorry, we are extremely busy at the moment. A team of Jonin just got brought in from an ambush at the border of Rice Country, but we don't have enough doctors to deal with all the wounded, she said frantically. Why are you so understaffed? There should be at least 10 doctors here at a time. I only see 5, asked Hiruzen. 2 of our doctors called in sick and the other 3 are unconscious from using too much chakra trying to heal the wounded, said the secretary. Whilst Hiruzen spoke to the secretary, Naruto looked over to the wounded and coated his eye with his scan ability. Started to analyze them. One has 4 broken ribs and a punctured lung. The second has severe burns on his arms and legs along with a broken scapula. The third is missing an arm but the wound has been cauterized, along with a broken radius, and the fourth has 2 deep slashes across his chest, breaking most of the ribs and damaging his organs, especially his lungs and liver, said Naruto aloud. Turning back to the desk, he sees the secretary, the Hokage, and a black-haired woman looking at him in shock and surprise. Naruto-kun, how could you possibly know all that just by looking at them? Asked Hiruzen in shock. Yes, young man, not even I can do that, and I'm the head doctor here, said the newly arrived woman. I developed a technique that works like an X-ray machine to help analyze patients, said Naruto with a blank face. But why are you asking me these things when you have 4 dying shinobi waiting for medical help? Asked Naruto with a raised eyebrow. Cursing themselves for forgetting the wounded, the head doctor had the 4 shinobi brought into a large medical bay, followed closely by Naruto, who planned on showing the Hokage that he was skilled enough to be a doctor. But when he was about to walk inside, he was stopped by the head doctor. I'm sorry, young man, but you have helped enough. Leave it to the professionals, said the head doctor. The same professionals that forgot about their patients to gawk at a kid? The same professionals that were running around like headless chickens not 10 minutes ago? Asked Naruto in a monotone voice, making the head doctor blush in embarrassment at the truth of his words. And besides, we both know that only one of them has any major chance of recovery. The others, it's 50-50, and even then it won't be a good life. That is a very morbid way of looking at it, young man, said the women, looking to the ground, knowing it was true. Some of their injuries were life-changing if they lived. But, the head doctor's head shot up at that. If you let me help with the surgery, I can guarantee 100% recovery. All I need is your trust and 1 fresh corpse. It's your choice to make, said Naruto. For what felt like an eternity, the head doctor made her choice. Very well, but I and the Hokage must be present for the surgery, and I will intervene if I find it necessary. I'll give you 3 minutes to prepare whilst I get the corpse, said the doctor as she ran off to find a nurse to help her. With her gone, Naruto smirks and enters the med bay to prepare for his first surgery. 3 minutes later, with everything ready and the Hokage and the head doctor standing by, Naruto pulls out a scalpel, making the head doctor go wide-eyed. You need to put them under first, you moron, yelled the doctor, already regretting her decision to let this kid try this. I have developed a technique that doesn't require such things, so sit back and shut up, said Naruto, angry he was interrupted. Raising his hand, a blue ring appears. Now room, said Naruto as a blue bubble spread in the room, covering everything. What happened next was the most unbelievable thing the 2 spectators had ever seen. Without even a drop of blood, Naruto had opened up the chest cavity of the first patient and repaired his ribs and lungs using the mystical palm technique before sealing it back up with even a scar. 1 down, 3 to go, said Naruto. The second patient's burns were taken off and replaced with the skin from the corpse, and like the last time, Naruto used the mystical palm technique to heal the dying skin, making it look like there was never transplanted to begin with, and ran his hand over the patient's scapula, healing it almost instantly. The third patient was the man missing a hand and a broken radius. Like the last patient, Naruto cut the hand from the corpse and the patient and switched them with ease before running his mystical palm over the arm. The last patient had his lungs and liver heavily damaged. Instead of trying to repair them, Naruto used his strange technique to take the lungs and liver from the corpse and replace the patient's damaged one, leaving him with perfectly healthy organs once again. And that's the last of them, said Naruto as he deactivated the room and turned to see the wide-eyed spectators. So old man do you think is qualified? Flashback end. It's been 4 years and she's still trying to get me to teach her that technique, said Naruto with a smirk. After the surgery he and the head doctor who was named Naomi Fukasawa become friends and promised him he would always have a job waiting at the hospital for him. Enough down memory lane, I have to go see the old man before I go to the academy, said Naruto as he left the compound and shunshined to the Hokage tower, choosing to walk to the Hokage's office and give Ayumi a surprise. Walking through the building, Naruto was drawing looks from the people as he walked by. So were gawking at him, others looked like they had seen a ghost. Ignoring it, Naruto got to the top floor and saw Ayumi at her desk filling some paperwork. "Excuse me, I would like to see the Hokage," asked Naruto, making Ayumi look up to see whose voice it was, only for her to blush up a storm at seeing the shirtless blonde. "I am sorry, but Hokage-sama is rather busy at the moment, but I can take him a message if you like," asked Ayumi, trying to fight down her blush. "That would be acceptable. Tell him the surgeon is here, he will understand," said Naruto before taking a seat in the waiting area. Confused by the weird message Ayumi goes to deliver, and much to her shock the Hokage gives her a megawatt smile and tells her to bring him in. Not wanting to disobey orders, Ayumi goes to the waiting room. "Hokage-sama will see you now." Nodding, Naruto follows Ayumi into the office and was greeted by a smiling Hokage. "Naruto-kun, it's great to see you after so long, and you even dropped the henge this time," said Hiruzen, trying to hide his shock as he looked at Naruto's appearance. "If it wasn't for the tattoos I would have thought Minato was back from the dead." "Yes, the henge would serve no purpose now," said Naruto, trying not to smirk at Ayumi's shocked face. Not a second later, Naruto nearly fell over from the speed Ayumi crashed into him and nearly went blue in the face at the strength of her hug. "Ayumi, I think Naruto-kun needs air," said Hiruzen with a chuckle, making the women let go of the blonde, who sent a grateful look towards the Hokage. "Now Naruto, I assume you're here to join the graduating class for their exam?" asked Hiruzen. "That is correct," was all he said, making the Hokage sweat drop, expecting a better reaction than that. "Cough, well, take this note to Iruka's class and he will take it from there," said Hiruzen. Taking the note, Naruto bows and then leaves in a lighting shunshin, leaving a scorched carpet and a frowning Hokage. "Damn it, Naruto." Shinobi Academy. Inside the academy, this year's graduating class all sat down waiting for Iruka to start the exam. "So Munch, what do you Munch think the exam Munch will be?" asked Choji whilst eating a packet of crisps. "I don't know, but I'm sure it will be troublesome," said Shikamaru lazily. "Bark bark." "Yeah, Akamaru is right, we've prepared for this day for years, we're ready, right Hinata?" asked Kiba. "Yesskibak-kun," said Hinata quietly. "It is only logical that we are ready for the exam," said Shino. "Will you guys shut up? Kami, you're all such bakas, right, Sasuke-kun?" asked Sakura. "HN," was all the brooding Avenger said, not wanting to talk to the pink banshee. "Leave Sasuke-kun alone, forehead," yelled Ino. "Huh, you're just jealous, Sasuke-kun likes me more than you, Ino pig," yelled Sakura. Sensing the argument starting, Iruka starts to speak. "Okay, that's enough." After getting completely ignored, he sighs. "I said that's enough," yelled Iruka using his patented big head jutsu. With the class now silent, Iruka starts again. "Now today is your final exam and I'm confident that all of you will do great and become fine shinobi of Konoha. Just Lee." Iruka was cut off by a knock at the classroom door. Sighing again for being interrupted, Iruka looks towards the door. "Come in," said Iruka. When the door opened, Iruka couldn't help but go wide-eyed at who he was looking at, and he wasn't the only one. The entire class was gawking at the blonde man in front of them. "Yondaime-sama," yelled Iruka, who looked ready to faint along with the entire class. "I'm not the Yondaime," said Naruto. Feeling like an idiot, Iruka tries to regain his composure. Cough, of course, so who are you and why are you here?" asked Iruka, who instead of an answer, Naruto handed him a note. Seeing the Hokage's seal on it, he opens it and reads, his eyes getting wider and wider with each passing sentence. Finishing the letter, Iruka turns to class. "Well class, it seems like we have a new student. Do you want to introduce yourself?" asked Iruka. "My name is Uzumaki, the Surgeon of Death, Yondaime-sama," yelled Iruka, who looked ready to faint along with the entire class. "I'm not the Yondaime," said Naruto. Feeling like an idiot, Iruka tries to regain his composure. Cough, of course, so who are you and why are you here?" asked Iruka, who instead of an answer, Naruto handed him a note. Seeing the Hokage's seal on it, he opens it and starts to read, his eyes getting wider and wider with each passing sentence. Finishing the letter, Iruka turns to class. "Well class, it seems like we have a new student. Do you want to introduce yourself?" asked Iruka. "My name is Uzumaki. D. Naruto, the Surgeon of Death." Complete and utter silence was Naruto's only response to his proclamation until a scruffy-looking teen in the back with a large dog decided to break the silence. "Ha, what kinda dumbass name is that?" yelled the feral teen. "Are you that bad a doctor that they gave you that nickname to save patients?" He mocked, expecting the class to laugh at the newbie, but instead, there was more silence. "You're an Inuzuka, correct?" asked Naruto, getting what must have been his "I am better than you" grin from the teen. "Ha, of course. You know of my clan, they're famous around the world for our tracking abilities," he boasted. "Actually, I heard your women of your clan would rather their dogs than go near the males of your clan due to them smelling better," said Naruto in a monotone voice and a blank look on his face. "Along with the dogs actually pleasing them, unlike you limp," finished Naruto, causing the entire class besides a red-faced Kiba, Sasuke, Shino and the teachers to laugh hysterically. "Okay, that's enough, Naruto, why don't you take a seat next to Choji and Shikamaru?" said Iruka, pointing to the pineapple-haired teen and the FA heavy-set teen who was eating a bag of crisps. Walking to his seat and ignoring the looks he was getting, he sat down and leaned back on his chair with his sword rested on his shoulder. Closing his eyes, he started to listen to the conversations going on around the room. "Did you see his tattoos? Why isn't he wearing a shirt? Who cares, he's hot. Should we introduce ourselves? Troublesome. Alright class, today is your examination to see if you're ready for the life of a shinobi. Now originally we would begin with a written test, but due to Hokage-sama's changes in the curriculum it was taken out, so we will start with the kunai and shuriken throwing, so follow me to the target dummies," said Iruka as he and the students left the room. Hokage Tower. Inside the Hokage's office sat Hiruzen Sarutobi along with his advisors Kaharu Utatane and Homura Mitokado, and standing in front of them were some of the best jonin the village of Konoha had to offer. "Hiruzen, how can you tolerate such disrespect?" questioned Kaharu. "Kakashi should have been here hours ago." "Everyone has their own quirks, Kaharu. If I remember correctly, you wouldn't go on a mission unless you had that lucky ribbon that sensei gave you," said Hiruzen, chuckling at the small blush on his friend's face. After another 5 minutes, the door opened and a silver-haired man walked in with his face stuffed in an orange book that the people in the room were all too familiar with. "Kakashi, why are you so late?" demanded Homura with a stern look. Slowly putting his book away, Kakashi sheepishly scratched his head. You see, there was this old lady who's struggling with her shopping, so I offered her my assistance, not realizing she lived on the opposite side of the village, and to make matters worse, halfway there a black cat crossed my path, so I had to backtrack and go the other way round," said Kakashi with his patented eye smile, thus not seeing the angry and dumbfounded looks he was given by the elders and his fellow jonin. "Cough, very well Kakashi, just make sure it doesn't happen again," said Hiruzen, knowing he was wasting his breath. "Hi Hokage-sama," said Kakashi lazily before standing with his fellow jonin. "Now that we're all here," said Hiruzen, sending a small glare at Kakashi, "we are here to watch how this year's graduates perform and to decide on who they should be teamed with." "I beat Sasuke Uchiha gets the highest results," said a random jonin with a couple agreeing with him. "I wouldn't be too sure, I've added a new piece to the board, so to speak," said Hiruzen with a smile, surprising everyone, especially the elders, since no even they were told about it. "Who is it?" Hokrubby-eyed women. "His name is Uzumaki. D. Naruto, the youngest doctor in history," said Hiruzen, causing an uproar in his office. "Hiruzen, what is the nonsense?" shouted Kaharu. "It's as I said, I placed Naruto in a secure location where he trained for many years, and when he reached the age of 12 he snuck into my office and demanded I allow him to be tested to become a doctor," said Hiruzen, remembering the day like it was yesterday. "And you actually let him? Have you gone insane? No 12-year-old could possibly pass that kind of exam," yelled Homura. "Naruto did more than take an exam, he saved the life and careers of 4 of the jonin in this very room," said Hiruzen smugly before looking around the room. "Ah, Akio-kun, how has your arm been?" Brilliant Hokage-sama," said Akio, a bit confused. "Good, and Mayumi-chan, are your previous injuries troubling you at all?" "Not at all, Hokage-sama, in fact, I feel better than ever." "Lovely to hear, and you hear?" "Enough, Hiruzen, what is the point if these questions?" demanded Kaharu. These were the ninja that Naruto saved that day with his skills in the medical field, and I say with certainty, not even my student Tsunade Senju could have done a better job, said Hiruzen without a shred of doubt in his voice. Hokage-sama, no offense, but how can a 12-year-old not matter how skilled be better than the greatest medic in the world? Asked Kurenai. I will never forget the day when I first saw him perform surgery. Safe Hiruzen with a faraway look in his eyes. It was like watching a dance with how gracefully it was performed. The other occupants of the room stood dumbfounded. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the god of shinobi himself, had just told them a 12-year-old was a better surgeon than the legendary medic Tsunade Senju, and who were they to disagree? Now that you're all up to speed, it's time for the practical exams to begin, said Hiruzen, activating his crystal ball. Make sure you all pay attention to every student's skills and not just one, said Hiruzen, not wanting every sensei to want Sasuke or Naruto. Academy practice field. Okay students, first up is the kunai and shuriken throwing. Now would the first student please step forward? At this point Naruto zoned out, not caring in the slightest about how well they could do a simple thing like throwing kunai. Very good Ino, you got 6 out of 10 for the shuriken and 7 out of 10 for the kunai. Now then Sasuke Uchiha, you're up. With a grunt the Uchiha walked over and began throwing his kunai one at a time, only missing the center twice. Very good Sasuke. Now the shuriken. With another grunt he threw his shuriken, missing only one this time. Excellent Sasuke, a near perfect score, said Iruka, trying not to wince at the fangirls yelling. Alright, last up is Uzumaki. Please step forward. With a bored look Naruto took out 10 kunai, 5 in each hand, and threw them, all of them hitting the center of the target almost instantly. Quick reaching into his pouch he pulled out the same amount of shuriken, and just like the kunai he launched them, hitting the target's dead center. Turning around he saw the gobsmacked faces of the instructor and the odd looks his fellow students were giving him. Well, that was very impressive Naruto, you get full marks, said Iruka, getting a small nod from Naruto, who walked towards a tree and sat down under it, ignoring the looks he was getting. Alright, now it's time for the taijutsu portion of the exam. Now will Shino and Choji step forward, said Iruka, and like last time Naruto zoned out, not caring about how the others of his age fought. Alright, the last match is Kiba Inuzuka and Naruto Uzumaki, please enter the ring. I'm gonna make you pay for what you said earlier, then that will prove that I'm the alpha male of this generation, yelled Kiba. We will see, was all Naruto said before getting into a lazy fighting stance. Now Hajime. Immediately Kiba charged, sending a wide swing at Naruto's head, who was just standing there thinking he was too scared to move. Kiba grew a wise smirk, but that disappeared when his fist hit nothing but air and he felt the air leaving his lungs and being thrown back to where he started. Falling to his knees and coughing up saliva, Kiba looked towards Naruto, who just stood there with his hands in his pockets. Is that all you have, Kiba? Maybe your puppy should be in this ring instead of you, mocked Naruto. Shut up, you bastard, yelled Kiba, who struggled to his feet. Oh, the dog has some bark left, too bad its bite is dulled, said Naruto, who appeared in front of Kiba and punched him in jaw, knocking him out instantly. Grabbing Kiba's arm, Naruto drags him over to Iruka and the stunned crowd. He will be out for an hour or so. And with that said we went to retrieve his sword. Winner Uzumaki. Naruto with a perfect score, announced Iruka, stunned that one of his best students was beaten so easily. Okay, since Kiba won't be with us for a while, have an hour's break and then we will go through the jutsu portion of the exam, unless any of you want to do your exams during that time. And I will warn you, this year's exams are a lot harder than before, so take this time to practice, said Iruka. I want to get the farce over and done with, said Naruto with a bored look. Was all Sasuke said whilst stepping forward. Alright, if you two are sure, then I will take Kiba to the nurse and meet you at the exam area, said Iruka. Now the rest of you go have your break, said Iruka, picking up Kiba and walking to the nurse's office. Without a word, Sasuke walks towards the exam room, followed by Naruto, since he had no idea where the exam room was, something Iruka forgot. Getting to the area, the two teens stood in silence, not caring to talk to one another, until Sasuke broke the silence. How did you move so quickly during your fight? Asked Sasuke, though it sounded like a demand. Speed, what else? Answered Naruto, looking at Sasuke like he was the biggest idiot on the planet. Don't mess with me, there is no way someone like you could have done that with just speed. So tell me what technique you used, yelled Sasuke. Instead of answering, Naruto just flips him off, angering the Uchiha more. About to lash out at the surgeon, Sasuke stopped himself at hearing Iruka's voice. Good you're both here, said Iruka, looking forward to seeing how they perform. Sasuke, you will go first, so please perform the substitution jutsu. Going through the needed hand signs, Sasuke disappeared in a puff of smoke. A log replaced him. Very good Sasuke, though the speed could use some work. Grunted Sasuke, not seeing the point in such a useless technique. Okay, now the clone jutsu. And like last time, Sasuke performed the jutsu creating 3 clones. Excellent, but you may wish to find a different clone technique since this one is a very basic one. And finally the henge jutsu. Going through the hand signs and a puff of some, and Sasuke had been replaced by a perfect copy of Iruka. Excellent Sasuke, a perfect henge. Now if you want you can perform another jutsu for extra credit. Getting a nod, Sasuke went through the hand signs and took in a deep breath. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. And like the name suggested, Sasuke shot a fairly large fireball out of his mouth and hitting a nearby dummy. Very impressive. It's rare to know an element jutsu at your age. Now since the written part of the exam was taken out, it's a lot harder to pass than a couple of years ago, but with your score you easily pass, so congratulations, you're a genin of Konoha. I'm sure your mother will be very proud of you, said Iruka, getting a small, nearly unnoticeable smile from the newly minted genin. Now Naruto, it's your turn, please perform the first 3 jutsu. Sasuke did, said Iruka. This is pointless, but whatever. Naruto switched himself with a log, followed quickly by creating 3 clones, and finally hanged himself into a perfect copy of the second Hokage. Releasing the henge, Naruto looks to Iruka with a bored look. Anything else? How did you do that? Yelled Iruka. Do what? Asked a confused Naruto. You performed all those jutsu without any hand signs. I didn't like the idea of giving enemies time to strike me, so I have learned to use nearly all of my jutsu without them. That should take years. I can barely do jutsu without hand signs, yelled Iruka, stunned that a teen of 16 could do something that most jonin couldn't do. I will have to inform the Hokage later, but for now please perform any other jutsu you know. Best not use my devil fruit powers. I don't want too many people knowing about that just yet. I'll go with another one, but what one? After a couple of seconds thinking. Got it. Quickly going through 10 hand signs, Naruto shouted. Water style. Water dragon jutsu. Pulling the water out from the nearby planet Life, Naruto formed a large and terrifying dragon that let loose a mighty roar before charging at a tree, shredding it to pieces on impact. Damn, I still can't perform it without drawing water from the surrounding plants, whispered Naruto, ignoring the shocked and jealous looks from Iruka and Sasuke respectively. Well, that was incredibly impressive, Naruto, to be able to perform that jutsu with only 10 hand signs and with that little amount of water is unheard of. I think even Tobamaru Senju himself would be impressed, said Iruka with a smile. Here is your headband, Naruto. Congratulations, you definitely earned it. Taking the headband, Naruto tied it round his bicep, for now planning to replace the blue band later. From now on your ninja career begins. This is not an easy path and many who take it never see then end, but I believe that you can go down it as long as you believe in yourself and remember the will of fire, said Iruka passionately. With a bow to Iruka, the 2 ninjas left, one towards home to tell his mother and the other to the Hokage tower to inform him of his disappointment of the exam. Leaving Iruka to smile at the 2. The next generation is quite impressive. I can't wait to hear on how they grow. Hokage tower. Having just finished watching the 2 new genin, the room was silent until Kaharu spoke. Where have you been hiding that boy Hiruzen, and who trained him? Now boy his age in these times should be that well trained already. I won't tell you his residence, but I will say everything he knows, every skill he has, he learned by himself. He has never had a teacher, said Hiruzen. That started murmurs going around the room. Prodigy, too good to be a genin, another Itachi. Not wanting things to get out of hand, Hiruzen stops them. That is enough for now, so please. But he was cut off by the door being kicked open, revealing none other than Naruto. Old man, you lied to me. You said that exam would be harder. I could have done that when I was 10. Yelled, walking up to Hiruzen's desk, ignoring all the other occupants of the room. Now Naruto-kun, it's not my fault you trained so much that the exam was easy, said Hiruzen. Now if that's all, I would like to continue with his meeting, said Hiruzen, pointing to the large group of jonin, all looking at him with different looks in their eyes, some annoyance to curiosity and strangely lust. Actually, there are a couple of things, said Naruto. First up, I want to be on my own team. Second, I want to be promoted. The rank of genin is an insult, and as a doctor I should be a chunin or higher. And thirdly, tell the fossils next to you to stop glaring at me like I just stole their medication. How dare you, you insult little brat, yelled Hamaru. You will treat us with respect. Respect this, said Naruto lazily and flipped the man off, and purple-haired women burst out laughing. Ha 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 ha, this brat's got balls of steel, laughed Anko. I think that's enough of that for now, Anko, said Hiruzen, trying and failing to hide his amusement at the situation. Now Naruto, I think you should be placed on a team. Unless you show me that you are ready for solo missions, you will be placed on a team like any normal genin. As for the second request, I can only promote someone when they have to show the abilities that are required to be promoted along with a certain amount of time in the field, so until then you will stay genin. What about the third request? Cause that old woman is looking at me in a way that says I wanna bang you but I hate you at the same time, said Naruto, making Anko and a couple others burst out laughing. I can't control how people feel, Naruto, you know that better than most, said Hiruzen. Hiruzen, I think you have wasted enough time on this genin and he should leave, said Hamaru, putting emphasis on the word genin. What if I show you I have the skills to be promoted? Said Naruto, not wanting to do the D-rank missions he had heard about. I will fight anyone you want me to and I will win, and if that's not enough then I will gladly do C-rank missions and above until I have done the necessary field time. That is a very tempting offer, Naruto-kun, and you say I can pick who you fight? Getting a nod, Hiruzen agreed. Very well, I accept. You will be fighting two of my best jonin tomorrow evening, so be prepared. I will see you then, old man, said Naruto before disappearing in a lightning body flicker, leaving a matching scorch mark on the floor. Naruto. Having left the Hokage's office, Naruto decided to walk around Konoha to get his bearings, since he hadn't been anywhere in the village for over 7 years other than the hospital, the Hokage Tower and the academy. Walking down the main street, Naruto decided to pull his hood up, having gotten sick of all the people gawking at him. As he took in the sights, a familiar smell hit his nostrils. Following his nose, Naruto found himself in front of a very familiar food stand. Ichiraku ramen, whispered Naruto as he walked over and took a seat. Looking over the menu, Naruto heard a voice. Oh, a customer. Looking over to the voice, Naruto saw a familiar old man with short gray hair. What can I get you? I'll have a large beef ramen, said Naruto as he took down his hood, nearly giving the old man a heart attack. Minato, yelled the now pale man as he pointed a shaking finger at Naruto. Sorry, old man, you got the wrong person, said Naruto to the still pale man. Calming himself down a bit, the man took a closer look at Naruto's face and then it hit him. Naruto, yelled the old man in shock. In the flesh, old ma, said Naruto, happy that the man remembered him even after all these years. Damn, last time I saw you were a scrawny little kid, now look at you, said Tuchi. Thanks, old man. Now about that ramen, said Naruto, making Tuchi grin, and immediately started to make the ramen. After a couple of bowl of ramen and nearly getting hugged to death by a very happy Ayame, Naruto left the stand and headed back towards his home, ignoring the looks people were giving him. Walk through the clan estates, Naruto heard someone shout. Oi, quack doctor, yelled an annoying but familiar voice. Rolling his eyes, Naruto turned to see Kiba standing there with what Naruto would describe as a mix of angry and constipated. What is it, Mutt? Asked Naruto. You must think you're so special, don't you? The only reason you beat me was because you must have cheated, accused Kiba whilst his dog was barking at him, apparently trying to make him stop. If by cheating you mean I'm stronger than you, then yes, I cheated, said Naruto. Now go away, Mutt. And with that, Naruto left, leaving a fuming Kiba behind. As Naruto walked away from the other team, he felt another presence nearby. You can come out now, I know you're there. A second later, a figure jumped down from a rooftop in front of a look at her. He had to admit she was pretty hot. Standing at around 5'3", she had a wild look about her, long, spiky, untamed brown hair, vertical slit-like pupils, elongated canine teeth, and nails. She, like the rest of her clan, had the clan fang markings on her cheeks as well as markings over her eyes and a dark shade of purple lipstick. And to finish her look, she wore the standard outfit of a Konoha shinobi. Getting a look at her, he had to admit she was pretty hot. Standing at around 5'3", she had a wild look about her, long, spiky, untamed brown hair, vertical slit-like pupils, elongated canine teeth, and nails. She, like the rest of her clan, had the clan fang markings on her cheeks as well as markings over her eyes and a dark shade of purple lipstick. And to finish her look, she wore the standard outfit of a Konoha shinobi. Not bad for a pup, better than my idiot son anyway, said the women, giving him a feral grin. But then again, you are quite the subject to the higher-ups of the village at the moment. If you're talking about Kiba, then I feel insulted you would even compare us, said Naruto in a monotone voice, making her bark out a laugh. Oay1ah. A feral grin spread across her face. I know how to deal with that. Now follow me. Turning around and walking, she realized Naruto wasn't following her. I told you to follow me, yelled the women. And? Asked Naruto. And? She repeated. Yes, and why would I follow you just because you said so? I have things to do, said Naruto, lying. Of course, he had nothing to do and was most likely going to go home and have a nap. Because I'm Sume Inuzuka, head of the Inuzuka clan and a Tokubetsu Jonin of Konoha, your superior, yelled a woman, outwardly pissed off but inwardly smirking at the balls the teen had. I don't see how that has anything to do with anything. I'm not part of your clan, nor is this a time of crisis, so you have no authority to order me around, said Naruto. So why should I follow you? Asked Naruto with a raised look at the teen for a couple of seconds before barking out a laugh. You sure have a backbone, pup, laughed Sume. So are we done? 'Cause I have things to do, said Naruto, inwardly thinking the best place to have a nap at his compound. Well, too bad, 'cause you're coming with me, said Sume as she grabbed his hand and disappeared in a body flicker. Inuzuka compound. Reappearing in front of a house, Naruto saw the Inuzuka clan marking on a couple of buildings. Why have you taken me to your clan compound? Because I want you to have a rematch against Kiba, said Sume as soon as she said that. Naruto turned and started to walk towards the main gate, only to be blocked by a large wolf-like dog with an eye patch and a missing ear. Now I didn't tell you the best part. If you win I will fight you after, said Sume, making Naruto rethink the idea. I could test my skill level against an experienced Jonin before the match tomorrow. That might help me make a plan, thought Naruto. Pretending to think it over for a second, Naruto looked at Sume. Why should I fight Kiba again? Because the idiot keeps complaining that some quack doctor cheated and beat him, and I and Hana are sick of it already, and it's been less than 3 hours, deadpanned Sume. Fine, I'll fight the mutt again. I won't take too long anyway. Training, said Naruto. Smiling at the boy, Sume told Kuromaru to go and get Hana before leading Naruto training ground where Kiba was punching a post. Oi runt, stop punching that post and get over here, yelled Sume, and even from the distance Naruto could see him sweat slightly. That was until he spotted him. What are you doing here? Demanded Kiba, only for Naruto to flip him off, making the already mad Inuzuka turn red. Shut up, Kiba, shouted Sume, and immediately Kiba shut up. He is here because I brought him here so that you can stop your ing about losing earlier. But he cheated, said Kiba, pointing at Naruto accusingly. And how did he cheat exactly? Asked Sume. That made Kiba falter for a bit, not knowing what to say. He must have used chakra or something. That's the only way he could be that fast. TCH, you're just slow and your reflexes are terrible, said Naruto, not caring what Kiba accused him of. He just wanted to fight the Jonin. Seeing as the only way to settle it was for the two to fight, Sume told them to prepare since she wanted Hana to see this as well. Hana arrived shortly along with Kuromaru and her 3 dogs. What's happening, mother? Why did you send Kuromaru for me? Asked Hana. I arranged for Kiba to fight someone, said Sume, pointing to Naruto, who stood there with a bored look on his face. When Hana saw him she blushed a bright red. Something Sume noticed and grinned. Walking to the ring, Sume stood in the middle of the two. All right, no chakra or weapons allowed, said Sume, making Naruto sigh and quickly put his sword down outside the arena. Oi, wait, yelled Kiba. How do I know you don't have other weapons sealed in that coat or something? Making Naruto sigh in annoyance. Wow, that's a really lame excuse to get me to take my coat off, said Naruto. I know I look good, but I don't swing that way, thanks, but I'm sure you will find someone for you in the future. You did keep staring at that Uchiha kid, said Naruto in a monotone voice, ignoring Sume and Hana laugh in the background. You bastard, I'm not gay, damn it. I just want to make sure you don't cheat, said Kiba. Whatever, if it gets this over with quicker then so be it, said Naruto, taking off his coat, exposing his tattooed back to the 3, getting different reactions from them. Kiba thought they looked pretty cool. Not that he would admit that. Hana blushed and Sume licked her lips. Re-entering the ring, Naruto got into a lazy stance whilst Kiba dropped into the Inuzuka fighting stance. Alright. You two remember, no chakra or weapons, now go, yelled Sume, who jumped back to the sidelines. This time you're going down, yelled Kiba as he charged Naruto, who just stood there. Kiba swung his clawed hand at Naruto's stomach only to hit air. Damn it. yelled Kiba as he threw punch after punch only to always hit air. Why can't I hit you? Yelled Kiba, who kept swinging only for Naruto to vanish once again and to suddenly be thrown out the ring and crash into a tree. Like I said, Kiba, you're all bark, said Naruto. Winner Naruto, said Sume, who knew who the victor would be, was still surprised at how one-sided it was. Hana was shocked since taijutsu was Kiba's strongest ability, and to see him get beaten in a single hit was amazing. A light pup, I believe I owe you a fight, said Sume, making Naruto smirk. Putting his coat back on and retrieving his sword, Naruto stood waiting for her to prepare. That was until a small brown-haired girl ran into the training field crying, covered in blood and holding something small. Auntie Sume, wailed the little girl as she ran at Sume. Kina, what happened, are you okay? Asked an extremely worried Sume, since Kian was her niece and the only thing she had left from her sister. It's Haru. We were playing in the forest near the compound and a snake come out from a bush and bit her. She keeps bleeding from her eyes. Auntie, please, you have to help her, begged the crying girl. Quickly looking at the young puppy, Sume knew there was now a way for the dog to survive. Whatever snake bit her, it would be fatal. Calling over Hana, she saw that she came to the same conclusion: the dog would die very soon. Not being sure how to tell her niece, Sume looked around and spotted Naruto leaning against a tree, apparently uncaring to the little girl's anguish. Until she remembered what the Hokage had told the clan heads earlier. The best doctor I have ever seen. I have seen him save critical patients in mere seconds. Naruto, can you save Haru? Yelled Sume. I'm a doctor, not a vet, so no, said Naruto, turning to walk away since clearly he wasn't getting his fight. Until he felt a small tug on his trousers. He turned to see Kana looking at him with tear-filled eyes. Please, mister, can you save Haru? She's all I have left from my mother. Please, I will even give you my piggy bank, begged the girl, not wanting to see her last gift from her mother to leave her. Trying to stay strong in front of the puppy-eyed girl, Naruto caved. Fine. Walking over to the blood-soaked puppy, Naruto scanned it. This venom comes from a boomslang not native to this area. Its venom makes the victim bleed out from their nose, eyes, mouth and ears, and it's very quick to spread, said Naruto. So you can't help her, said Kana, who started to cry again. I never said that, said Naruto. I'll need to borrow your dogs, Hana? Sure, just please save her, said Hana, not sure what he was going to do. Alright now, room, said Naruto, and a blue bubble surrounded him and the dogs. Now I need to concentrate, so all of you shut up and ask questions later that I will ignore. With that said, they all watched as Naruto cut up the puppy and drained its blood from the body, then taking blood from the 3 dogs and sending it into the small puppy. Finally it ended with Haru being put back together and canceling the room. Their Haru will be fine, said Naruto, and to prove his point Haru jumped up and barked happily before jumping into Kana's arms. Now I'm going home. Wait, I haven't given you my piggy bank, said Kana, thinking he would want his payment. Keep it, just watch out for snakes, said Naruto before disappearing in a lightning body flicker. Mum, what was that? Yelled Hana. I don't know, but I'm going to ask the Hokage, said Sume. She needed answers for what she just saw. Naruto's house. Next time I go out, I'm just body flicking back here instead of walking. Seems to get me in annoying situations, said Naruto. Now where was I before I got dragged away by the MILF? Oh yeah, time for a nap. And with that, Naruto took off his coat and started to drift off. Tomorrow is gonna be a pain. The end. Now we will see you in the next video.